stand up. Come on, turn that music up, DJ. Come on. Some of you guys don't know this music. You're too young.
Tango boogie. Tango boogie.
Come on, y'all. Everybody go down with it. Come on. Come on, y'all. Go down with it. Don't make me go down alone. Come on. Sit there for a minute. Sit there for a minute. Don't be scared. Sit there for a minute. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. All right. Give yourself a round of applause. Hi there. Can we raise the lights up? I think they're all hot. They look amazing, and I want to see them all. Paul, could you guys raise the lights up? I want to see these amazing faces. There we go. Come on, raise them all up, all the way in the back. Y'all look good today. Oh, my gosh. So I'm excited to be with you. Excited to be with you again. How many amazing folks were with me yesterday? Make some noise. Make some noise. Yes, yes. So that was the bonus before all the good stuff. Wasn't that amazing? It was awesome. And then how many guys went last night? Wasn't that cool? Let me see. I can recognize some half faces, some other half faces. Everyone looked the same on one side. I was like, can you turn the other way so I can see who you really are? Vision came up to me last night, and he hugged me, and I just like, hi. And then he turned his face around so I could see who it was. I was like, oh, you scared me. He was like, well, this was the scary face. What are you doing? I'm excited because today's conversation is a conversation that really separates people who dream about the life that they want to have and those who are living it. And I believe that we have a right to live the exact life that we want. Now, before I get started, I should do this first. So before you get settled, before you get situated, you guys got your books out ready. Okay, take everything out your pocket. Out your lap. Put it on the ground. Stand back up again. I got to do this thing. I'm going to invite Cece up. You guys give Cece some love. Cece is my director of global sales. So Cece back here. Okay, now, so my grandmother, you guys have heard me tell grandmother stories. My grandmother has an agreement, and my grandma and I have an agreement that wherever I go in the world, she finally learned how to use her phone, right, her cell phone. She kept wondering why I didn't have a cord. We finally got past that. And so I told her, wherever I am in the world, I'm going to send you a video. Showed her how to open the video. That took a half a day. And so I've been doing this for the last, 3 years, no matter where I go. Kazakhstan, Taipei, Swaziland, Johannesburg, everywhere, Kiev, everywhere I go, I do this. Next year, I'll be in the UK, and I'll be in some other great places. I'm going to do this. So would you guys all join me in saying hi to my grandma? Okay, so Cece is going to start over there, and she's going to scan, and so my grandmother knows I have a real job and that I'm really a part of the video. She's going to scan over, and then I'm going to get in front of the video. So I'm like, that's me, Grandma. That's me right there in the front. And then she's going to keep scanning, and then she's going to come back. So you guys can't get tired. You got to, make some noise, okay? So Cece, go back a little bit so I won't look really big with the afro. It just all overwhelming. All right, so on the count of 3. Now, you guys don't wait till it gets to you to make noise. Make noise as it's coming to you, right? Some of you guys want to stand on a chair. Feel free to stand on a chair. Okay, so Paul, can you play a little make some noise music? And then on the count of 3, we're going to do this, and it's going to be really good. Cameraman, can you not do the butt shot? Okay, I'm going to turn like this then. Okay. So, thank you. Now, it's little now. Now I can do it. All right. 1, 2, 3, go. Woo!
Push me to my knees. The way you sway. Directs my legs. And I'm so excited now. Woo! Push! Push!
All right, thank you, guys. Woo! love CC. Come on, thank you, baby. So, I love teaching lessons like this because this becomes one of those changing moments. I look at my life and it's barely recognizable. I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's completely unrecognizable. And I was interviewed 155 times in 5 months during the release of my book, No Matter What. I was one of the few women to get paid $1 million to write one book. The last woman before me, thank you. The last woman before me at that time to get paid $1 million to write one book was Hillary Clinton. And then there's the girl who got a fail in English. That would be me. And so it got quite a bit of attention. And then the question that I kept being asked during almost every interview was, what did you do? What did you do? And people expected to hear something extraordinary, something that was so wild, something that, that's why. And so I started searching for something. Like, well, God, I woke up, I got to work and went to bed and woke up and got to work. And it can't be that, because every time I tell them that, they don't want to hear that. And so there were some things that happened. May I tell you the things that got me from a woman who was on government assistance 19 years ago. I don't ever tell the story and not get emotional. I guess I don't, and if you've heard me tell the story before and tears came up, you think, can she cry on cue? No, she was the woman who was on government assistance. What happened to get me from that place? And many of you are not there. None of you probably are there, because God knows if you're on that, you're not coming here, and they just don't match. It's got a whole lot of checks to put together to get here from that space. So you're somewhere in the middle, or you're beyond, and that's great. And so I share the stories so that you can find yourself in the middle. Does that make sense? And then it becomes a turbo boost for you. So I kept asking myself the question every time someone would interview me and they'd ask this question. I go, what was it that could get me from government assistance to running a multi-million-dollar business, 6 bestsellers? I'm writing my 7th bestseller. I don't write books. I write bestsellers. Books are boring to write. Bestsellers feel better. What would have me go from there to here to be the first African-American woman founder of a company that's now officially public? That's just cray-cray. To have my brand seen by over 36 million people annually, to be hired by Steve Harvey to be his coach, go figure. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying, what the heck happened? If I were sitting in a chair, I want to know what happened. Anybody want to know what happened? What happened? And so I found myself having to answer the question for myself, because I wasn't taking notes. I was busy trying to rescue my future. I was busy making sure that my tomorrow looked nothing like my yesterday. Even if my yesterday was beautiful, I want a tomorrow that's breathtaking. And I believe that I have that birthright. So I'm going to give you the things I did, and will you make a promise to me? That's a real question. Like, this is not like a show. It's a real conversation here. So, will you promise to me that if it seems too easy, you'll do it anyway? Because you have a habit of complicating stuff, right? Am I the only one? I just want to make sure I'm in the right room. If it sounds too easy, you'll do it anyway. Number 2, will you promise me that If you feel you're unworthy or you can't do that, you'll try it anyway. Yes, will you do that? Okay. Third, will you commit to me if you tried it before and it didn't work, you'll do it again? Yes? 4, will you commit to me if no one else in your community agrees with that thing, you'll do it anyway? Yes, yes? All I need for you to do is agree to do those things and we got a deal. Because otherwise, I don't want to waste my time, waste your time. But if you agree. Now, and the final thing, and for those of you that were there yesterday, this will be easier for you. Will you agree to manage your negative self-talk while we have this conversation? Okay. Will you remember that comparison is the thief of all joy? You guys were there yesterday, right? So don't compare your story to mine, because unless you got round hips, full lips, mocha skin, and an afro, you probably are not me. And then some of my sisters look just like that, but that's all right. Can we agree you won't compare your journey to mine? Compare you to me. Will you agree? Hey, Linda, baby. Nice to see you. So the question, what was it? What was it? Joan Baez says that the antidote for despair is action. Lisa Nichols says the prescription for success, hey, is the same thing, action. So, number 1, I was willing to do that thing that no one else wanted to do. I was willing. Are you willing every day, no matter how smart you are, how brilliant you are you willing to get up, know everything about some things and nothing about anything else? See, I was willing to live in what I call duality. You might want to write that down. I was willing to live in a constant duality. I was willing to be brilliant and in the same 60 seconds be clueless. There are 4 things I want you to walk away with. There's 4 things. And this is that if you chant it to yourself, it's liberating. If you heard it from me before, I'm not saying it again because I ran out of stuff to say. I'm saying it again because it's my mantra. I have nothing to hide. Say that. I have nothing to protect. I have nothing to prove. And I have nothing to defend. Now, for some of you, you won't get that and understand that until you're on the flight home. It's that deep. When you can live like, walk like, play like, and work like you have nothing to hide, nothing to protect, nothing to prove, and nothing to defend. You're proving nothing to no one. You're just being. And in every moment, you allow yourself to become the next best version of yourself. So I was willing to unhook myself from anyone else's perception of Lisa. I was willing to rediscover and redefine and rebirth who I could become every single day. I was willing to live in a space that was mildly to moderately to significantly uncomfortable. My grandmother says, baby, conviction and convenience don't live on the same block. They don't even live in the same zip code. Are you willing, write this down, be willing to be inconvenienced? See, some of you, you want that dream, but you want to live inside of a convenience. Hold on, let me just set something up. I might step on a few toes. Is that all right? Y'all might have to send Indian style because I'm not going to stop. Vishen asked me to come here and tell you the truth. And I believe success leaves clues and we just got to share them, right? Are you willing to say that thing you don't want to say? To do that thing you really don't want to do so you can be that man, that woman you have always known yourself to be? Are you willing? Because right on the other side of convenience, on the other side that really cost you more than you wanted to pay, it makes you do what you don't want to do. It makes you discover what you didn't want to see. It makes you sit some places by yourself. It makes you have to release some habits and release some people. Right on the other side of that, that's where your dream is. Yes, yes? You're trying to get the dream, stand on the inside of it. Well, it kind of hurts, Lisa. Okay, pull up your big girl pants. Pull up your big boy pants. See, on the other side of what you live now, it's going to hurt to get there. Are you willing to have a little pain or a lot of pain? Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you willing to say, listen, I have to let some habits go? See, the habit of procrastination, you've been with me for a while. And I know fear, we've been hanging out a long time. Everyone knows I get a little timid. And stubbornness, come on, show me I'm not alone. Come on. Righteousness, see, that whole leadership thing where you gobble everyone up when you get mad, that's good, but you're kind of outdated now. Oh, and that thing called living in uncertainty. You brought me here, but I need to go there. And I'm sorry, I can't take you with me. Are you willing? Are you willing? You trying to get somewhere new through a narrow doorway, bringing too much with you. Ooh. I felt that one. This might be the best gift you got when you came to Mexico. I love you enough to tell you the truth. I love you enough to make you mildly, to moderately, to significantly uncomfortable. Because if it causes you to move, then damn it, you just moved. Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you willing to no longer be defined by your history? Are you willing to know my history just got me to this point? It has very little to do with where I'm going. Are you willing? Are you willing to stop keeping score? See, keeping score is one thing. It's collecting evidence to prove yourself right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now here's the deal. Whatever you say, you're right. I can do it. I can be anybody. You're right. It's always going to be too hard. I'm not going to ever do this. You're right. What are you keeping score on? Now I invite you to keep track. Keeping track and saying, wait a minute, when I step that way, this happened. When I step that way, this happened. Let me be mindful. Keeping score is collecting evidence. Keep track, not score. Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you willing to say to the people that you love the most, I love you, and my assignment is out there, and I will be back, but I cannot stay here to make you feel comfortable? Are you willing? Are you willing? See, conviction and convenience don't live on the same block. See, and most of you, you said no to one of those things already. Come on, yes, yes. Let's just tell the truth. The truth is sexy. I mean, men, if y'all want to look sexy, tell us the truth. You can even say, baby, I'm a hot mess. And we'll say, that's okay, I'll help you. Right, ladies? Because it's the truth, right? I don't know where that, okay. I'm at A-Fest, good Lord. So, y'all got me up here. Oh, they cold, huh? That's how ladies dab. Okay. So, I decided I want to uncover what that thing is, because what we don't get to do anymore is we don't get to say success is mystical. We're going to demystify that. And if you choose today, see, when you come to AFES, you get fired up and you get excited. I've been here since the very beginning, the very first one. We leave here on fire. And then a month out, 2 months out, our fire turns into a fizzle. And we wonder why. Can I tell you why? You weren't in enough action. See, action breeds fire. Action is the logs. Action is the lighter fluid. Action creates a bigger flame. It's only in the action. Well, I'm just going to wait and be still. Okay, can you get up after a while? Can you get up? I'm waiting on people to support me. I'm going to tell you something. And someone came for this, and if you came for this, just raise your hand and let me know. See, for some of you, you're waiting on the people in your life that you love to grab a hold to your vision. You're waiting on them to support your vision. How many guys got people around you? They're not supporting your vision the way you love them to support your vision. Or you need more people. Come on, raise your hands up high, not shy. Don't be afraid. Okay, great. See, you're waiting on someone to agree with your vision and validate your vision, but you stop by AFES just for this, to hear this message. Everything else is bonus. And whatever your faith is, I'm not here to impose my faith on you, but you want people to buy into your vision. And you're asking, why won't they get my vision? And I'm going to tell you, but you have to promise me that you act like you know after I tell you, right? Remember, that was our agreement, right? You can't go back to not knowing when I tell you. Other people don't get your vision because God didn't give it to them. God gave your vision to you. And it's your job to hold it. It's your job to nurture it. It's your job to feed it. It's your job to treat it well. It's your job to sustain your body and your mind so that that vision can be born through you and come out to the world, and then they can see it. See, I was talking to you for a long time before I ever arrived here. I've been in my bathroom mirror talking to you. You look just like that. And I would deliver my speeches, and I would feel the passion in my heart the same way I feel it now in my bathroom, making $31,000 a year with a 6-year-old son whose father was in prison, having been kicked out of college. No one would know where I was about to go. Are you willing? Are you willing to be inconvenienced? Are you willing to have a level of passion that even keeps you up at night? Are you willing? Are you willing to let all the old habits die away that you say you can't go with me? Are you willing? Are you willing to love some people from close and love some from a distance if they are going to interrupt your vision? Are you willing? I didn't stop by to give you any answers today. I stopped by to stir your soul with the right set of questions. That's all I did. I stopped by to have you come face to face with your conviction. And if it's not the conviction you want or the conviction you need, to up the ante of your conviction. To walk out here new. To walk out here going, wait a minute, I had to shed about 30 pounds of mindset, 30 pounds of belief system, 30 pounds of old habits, 30 pounds of excuses. I had to shed some things in there. And I'm leaving in the room. Close the door, hurry up so don't chase me when I come out. I just stop by so you can let it go in here. And let the housekeepers just pick it up. And then you go out and make your dream happen. Because I'm not okay being one of the few people to earn what I earn on an annual basis. I'm not okay being the only woman here and the only person of color here. And I'm not okay with that, with all the room of abundance we have. The universe is an abundant universe. The universe is an abundant universe. It means nothing to me to be the first. It means nothing to me to be the only. That's lonely. Hello. Mediocrity is crowded, but if y'all catch the elevator up to excellence, ooh-wee, it's a whole lot more room. Leg space is thebomb.com. So I just stopped by. I stopped by to stir your soul. I stopped by to ask you, are you willing? Are you the right person for the job you assigned? And oh, the answer was always yes. I stopped by. Can you come help me down, baby? Ladies, I've learned how to let a man be a man. Jesus. In your 20s, you're trying to prove something. In your 40s, you realize it was nothing to prove. Nothing. You know, I realize that I had to be willing. Yeah, y'all gonna have to turn around. Y'all know that, right? I had to be willing. I had to be willing to live in constant uncertainty. Constant uncertainty. I had to be willing to get up every day as if there were an earthquake in my life. Nothing was steady because it was always changing. It was always going somewhere I hadn't seen before. I had to wake up every day and be willing to be unrecognizable to my family, to allow them to have family meetings about me without me. You know, they got a show called Intervention now that's modeled after. I know I'm chocolate. You need me to get back in the light? Look, I'm just a dot now. That's all right. I was hot when I was ready for you guys. So I just have a question for you. And I want to be out here because I don't want it to feel normal. Your journey's not normal. You've never been normal. So they're supposed to talk about you. Let me be anything but normal. Let them question you. Because when they question you, whoever they are, that means you are disrupting the vibration of the planet. That means something new is going to come from you. Something new comes from you. If you're rolling smoothly, that means you're not outside the box. And guess what? There never was a box in the first place. Where is the box? There's never order. There's never order. What are you doing? Your life is supposed to make my life better because you were born. Your life is supposed to give life to someone who crossed your path at the right moment. Your light is supposed to shine so brightly that when I'm in my darkest corner, at the darkest moment, your light illuminates over to me and I can see myself again. That's your responsibility. Who the hell said you're going to be convenienced in that? I mean, think about it. That you are an unrepeatable miracle that was brought here on a divine assignment. And every single thing that you've gone through, you had to go through it so you have the resiliency that you have. Everything. The good, the bad, the happy, the sad, the right, the wrong, and everything in between was by divine design so that you can be the being that you are today. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. That you can't be the determining person, the resilient person you are, having not fallen down a bit. That wound wasn't meant to hurt you. That wound was meant so you can say, I got wounds. I get over wounds. Those are your stripes. That's your badge of honor. That makes you qualified. And yet you keep living in the past. Your chapter 4, that chapter that you didn't want, that chapter that you didn't ask for, that chapter that was unfair, that chapter that, man, you didn't deserve it. That chapter 4 was meant so your 24 would feel better. And yet you keep cutting and pasting your chapter 4 and your 24. Wondering what happened. You cut and pasted. I say, get your pen out. I say, grab your pen and write a new chapter. Write a new chapter and write it the way you want. And it doesn't have to make sense and you can have run-on sentences. I say, don't ask permission. Tell the world I'm tired of asking permission. I will no longer ask permission. From this day forward, I'm giving notice. Just have a little attitude about it. Some of y'all so polite. You're trying to be liked. Really? Do you? I promise you the right people will show up and like you. The right people. The right people. Your life is on a journey. And it came across my path to make me a better person, across his path to make him a better person. So I ask you, are you willing to be inconvenienced? Are you willing to do that thing that you thought you'd never do, say that thing you thought you never would say, to be the woman you've always known yourself to be the man you were designed to be? Are you willing? Are you willing to walk alone for a little while? Well, it's so lonely. Well, sometimes can't nobody walk with you because it's just your journey right now. And it's your job to make sure that you walk it, you hold it, so that when others show up, you're ready. Yes, yes? Yes, yes. See, I live this life that is unrecognizable. But I had this private experience that was almost unbearable. And I was willing to learn how to bear the unbearable so that I can have the unrecognizable. Are you willing? It's just a simple question. Are you willing? You want to find out, how can I do it sooner, quicker, faster, with no pain? Don't buy that book. Don't take that course because you're going to be disappointed. If I just told you the truth, are you willing to sweat? Are you willing to cry? Are you willing to feel like you can't carry anything else on your back and still get up? Are you willing to forgive the unforgivable and love the unlovable? Are you willing? And if you say yes to that, then can't nothing surprise us. Are you willing to give yourself permission? With all you said and with all you've done, are you still willing to give yourself permission to have a life that's barely recognizable? That's the first question, and from there we can get started. Now we can get started, right? Are you willing? I know there's 1,000 things that I could say to you. I teach courses all around the world. I teach for hours and hours and hours. But here's where we start. Nothing else matters until we start here, you guys. And I just want to have the conversation no one else is having with you. May I do that? And if you choose to learn from me, then we'll learn business plans and we'll learn goal setting and we'll learn how to achieve them damn goals you set. Everybody set goals and don't check back with you if you achieve them. Really? Like, to be continued. And we'll learn how to speak together and how to write. We'll do all that. But right now, I just want to tap into your conviction and disrupt it a bit. I want to disrupt your conviction so that your soil is tilled, so that everything that lands after that lands on some fertile soil, called a new kind of conviction, a new level of conviction, a non-negotiable conviction. My grandmother went to Oprah with me. And I figured she had picked cotton, so she should sit with Oprah. And my grandmother went to Oprah with me, and the first night I met Oprah, Jack Canfield and Rhonda Byrne and Reverend Michael Beckwith and I, we all had a meeting. And I came back to the room and my grandmother said, "Baby, this lady came." And she asked me, did I want to turn down? And I asked her, did that cost? She said, no. You know to turn down at night when they come. She said, I asked her, did that cost? And she said, no. So I said, well, come on in and turn down. She said, and baby, we don't need dessert tonight because she left some chocolate on the pillow. Too cute. I thought I was doing my grandmother a favor by taking her to Oprah. I'm going to take my grandmother to Oprah. The next morning, the Harpo Ink limo came, and I answered the phone. It says, Ms. Nichols, the Harpo Ink limo is here to pick you up. I was like, oh, it's happening. I put on my coat, put on my shoes. My grandmother said, baby. I said, yes, grandmother. She said, go make up your bed. Okay. I go. I make up my bed. And by the way, I got to just tell you this. So when we get there, she's calling all her friends on the cell phone. My grandmother talks really loud on her cell phone because she still don't understand no chord. Yes, yeah, I'm in Chicago with my grandbaby. Yeah, we're here to see Oprah. She never calls her Oprah. We're here to see Oprah Winfrey. We at the Omni Hotel where the guests of Oprah Winfrey stay. Because, when it comes on TV, it says where the guests of Oprah Winfrey stay. So she thinks that's the whole name. Omni Hotel where the guests of Oprah Winfrey says. All night long, she on the phone. She must have called everybody in her little black book. Yeah, yeah. I know, Maybelle, you can't hear me, but I'm at the Omni Hotel. Omni, where the guests of Oprah Winfrey stay. All night long. She called like 5 people all night long. I'm at the Omni Hotel where the guests of Oprah Winfrey stay. So she makes me make the bed up. So I go next morning, I make the bed up. And I go back, I get my jacket. And I get my shoes. And I'm getting, grab my purse. And she says again, baby. Yes, grandma. And it was that, I don't know if you guys have a mother or grandparent. And they have a tone. And it's loaded. Like, this ain't just a regular. All right, there's something in this. So it was like a little tone. I was like, and I was a mischievous kid, so I started checking my head. Like, I didn't do nothing. She said, baby, go wipe out the sink basin. Okay, grandma. So I'm wiping out the sink basin, and I say, grandma, no disrespect, because before you question my grandmother, you have to qualify. Only if you like your teeth in your mouth. Grandma, no disrespect, but why am I making up the bed and wiping out the sink basin at the Omni Hotel? I'm a guest. She said, finish cleaning. I'll tell you in a minute, baby. I kept cleaning. I walk out. She said, leave the lady some money. I said, I just did her job. Like, she really has nothing to do now. Really, it's all good. Leave the lady some money. I reached down in my purse. I get $3. She said, you make a lot of money. Don't be cheap. I reached down deeper. I leave $10. I said, Grandma, why am I making up the bed, wiping out the sink basin, and leaving the woman a tip? She said, because your great-great-grandmother was a day worker. I said, my grandmother Claudine? She said, yeah. She said, and when people knew she was coming, they would leave their homes extra, extra nasty. She said, baby, you're not going to do that. You're going to represent us well. She said, and when your great-great-grandmother got a tip that day, we got to eat meat. She said, I know you think you're walking on that plush carpet. And I know you think you're walking on those nice heels. She said, but you're not. You're walking on the shoulders of your great ancestors. And you will do right by us. She said, and every time you walk out that door, there's an allegiance of us walking behind you. Those of us who couldn't stay in this hotel. Those of us who had to clean this hotel. Those of us who didn't have cars. Those of us who couldn't fly. We are all behind you because we were willing to clean the hotels, scrub the toilets. We were willing to do all the things we did so you can walk on this carpet. And you will do right by us. She said, now get your jacket and your purse and get out of here. And I promise you, people always ask me how was Oprah, and Oprah was great. But I went to Chicago for my grandmother and for that moment. Because in history now, that's all I really remember was that I'm going to make sure I make my bed up. I was on Oprah in 2007. I have made up every bed and every hotel since 2007. I will do right by my ancestors. I say that because I'm also going to challenge you. You don't get off the hook. That seat that you're sitting in was paid for by somebody. And it wasn't your credit card. That was the easiest payment made for you to sit in that seat. That was the easiest payment made. Your grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-great-great-grandfather did something that we would think unthinkable so you could sit in this seat. Now, my question to you is, what are you going to do with it? Awkward. Appropriate. Sit with that question. What will you do with the seat that was made available for you? It's awful, awful assumptive to think you got another 5 years. It's awful assumptive to just let another year pass and play adequate, play mediocre. It's awful assumptive. Oh yeah, I came to disrupt you today. Is it working? Good. Somebody has to love us enough to disrupt us. Someone has to love me. I keep people in my corner that's willing to disrupt me because my norm is pretty impressive. So disrupt me. Disrupt me. I want to stay disruptive, so I'm always looking for the next best version of myself. Inside of pure acceptance of where I am, but what's the next best version of me? What's the next best version of you? Take a deep breath. Some of y'all stop breathing. There we go. Good. Take a second deep breath. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, I want you to turn to the person next to you. And I want you to speak to, when I play big, this is your sentence, When I play big, this will happen. So when you play big, what's happening? I want you to speak 5 years down the line that it's already done. I want you to go all the way out there. It's already done. Just for a moment. Then I'm going to take you through a guided visualization a little later. But I want you to start the conversation. It's already done. 5 years out, it's already done. Now, that's where the ordinary speaker would stop. Don't go nowhere. You're not done. But let's just be honest. I said you have to be willing to be inconvenienced. I told you I'd do the thing. I'd share with you the things I did. I was willing to be inconvenienced. I wasn't unhappy. Don't get me wrong. I was just inconvenienced. Does that make sense, you guys? Unhappy and inconvenience are very different. I was committed to my inconvenience because I was committed to my breakthrough, right? I wasn't searching for comfort. I was searching for unrecognizable future. Yes, yes? And on my journey to unrecognizable future, I just kept running to inconvenience. Does that make sense? Until inconvenience became my norm. I was okay with that. Not unhappy, just inconvenience. Does that make sense? Last year, I traveled 306 days out the year. 20 years ago, I prayed to God, God, I want to travel the world, run my mouth, and autograph anything. I was willing to be inconvenienced until I got there. Now I say, God, I want to travel the world, run my mouth, autograph certain things, and I only want to travel 100 days out the year. Like, watch out what you pray for. It will come true or ask for it. So now, real fast, that same partner, how must you allow yourself to be inconvenienced? What must you do? I have to be more disciplined and work more hours. I have to be willing to say no when I need to say no so that my yeses are more valuable. I have to be willing to work through my fear. I have to stop thinking small and accept the abundance that I'm due. What way must you be inconvenienced? Just speak to it. It's the thing that you're pushing up against. Does that make sense, you guys? You got it? Ready, set, go. Are you clear? Are you clear? Are you clear? Stand up. Stand up. Vision spoke before I came up. He talked about intention. He talked about guided visualizations. I'm gonna take you on one of those real fast. And he talked about just declaring it. I spoke. I would write my own affirmations because I knew what I needed to hear. I knew what I was undoing. I knew the mindset that I had to get out of, and I knew the mindset I needed to get in. So I wrote customized affirmations for me on Post-it notes, and I stuck them all over my house. And my house looked like I looked like people. That's why my family had meetings about me. I mean, I look crazy. I was willing, and I stopped going out to dinner. I stopped hanging out with people. I started putting every extra dime I had in my bank account because I knew I was buying my future. And in the memo line of my check, I put funding my dream. And whenever my family would see the checks funding my dream, funding my dream, funding my dream, they'd say, "What's your dream?" And I said, "I'm not clear yet, but I'm sure it's going to cost me some money." And I wrote a check to myself every 2 weeks working for LA Unified School District. Every 2 weeks, I wrote a check to myself. I stopped getting my hair done. I stopped getting my nails done. I stopped going out to dinner for 3.5 years. They had family meetings about me. Are you willing for them to have meetings about you? I was willing to be radical. I didn't open the statements in my bank account because I didn't want to know how much I had because it wasn't available to my now. It was buying my future. 3.5 years later, on an LA Unified School District budget, and I got a second job, and I put every dime from the second job in that same bank account with the memo, funding my future. I get to Wells Fargo, and I walk in, I say, "Hi, my name is Lisa Nichols." And all of a sudden, they started mumbling, and they started running around because I would mail the checks in. And they go, you're the funding my future lady. I said, "I am." They said, "We all got a question we've been asking for the last 3 years. What's your future? What's your dream?" I said, "I'm still getting clear. But I just came to check and see how much money did I have toward my dream." And they said, Miss Nichols, you have $62,000 in the bank. I said, no, my Social Security is 549. And they said, no, ma'am, you have $62,000 in the bank. And I took the money out and put it in two accounts because I didn't know how to balance an account. And I put 31,000 here and 31,000 here, and I lived off $31,000 for a year. And I put everything I made in that next year when I can put 8 hours toward my dream into a third account because I didn't know how to balance the accounts. I had to make them all separate. Do you see what I'm saying about being radical? I didn't know it didn't make any sense, but it didn't have to make sense. I want a life so unrecognizable that it doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Being the owner of a multi-million-dollar company, traveling the world doesn't make sense. But I'd rather have that not make sense lead to this not make sense any day of the week. Any day of the week. Any day of the week. Stop trying to fit somebody else's normal of you. This is your autobiography. You're the designer of your destiny. You're the author of your autobiography. Write a good story. Repeat after me. I am everything that I need to be. I'm smart enough, brilliant enough, young enough, wise enough. I have been through enough. I'm the perfect person for my assignment. No one can do it like me. I am an unrepeatable miracle. And in my imperfections, I'm perfect for this assignment. Take a deep breath in. I get. Oh, you thought it was over? I wish it was that easy for y'all, but you need a little more. I get 1,000 second chances. And when I get to 999, what? If I'm doing this, y'all do this. And when I get to 999, I get to press reset. But I did 5 times many things wrong. Sometimes I sprang up, and sometimes I wobbled up. But I never made getting up an option. Take all the other options. The last thing I'm telling you to do to get from there to here, simple. Take every other option off the table. Your table's crowded with too many plan B's and plan C's and plan D's. I only let plan A live. Now plan A morphed. It morphed. It took on a different shape, but it was always to be here in front of you. Always. Always. Now my plan AA had me like 40 pounds lighter, but what the heck? I'll take this one. Take a deep breath. I want to close with this. Close your eyes. I want you for a quick moment to just take a journey with me. You have been inconvenienced. You've done the thing you didn't want to do. You said the thing you didn't want to say so you can be the man, the woman you know yourself to be, and now you're living in it. I want you to see yourself. See yourself walking tall, beautiful, vibrant. See all the lights and the colors around you. that represent healing and prosperity and abundance. Take a deep breath in and just release it with a smile. You did it. You did it. Now I want you to see the people around you. The people around you all watching you. I want you to see your loved ones, your family, and your friends. Look at their faces, all looking at you. And everyone has a face, an expression of awe on their face. You did it. I want you to visualize this. Come on, see yourself there. And you're sitting in front of a table, and on the other side, everyone's sitting and looking at you, and it's probably about 30, 40 people, and they're just celebrating you. No birthday, no Christmas, no holiday, just we're proud of you. And you see someone, one of your closest friends or your family members stand up, and they begin to speak, and they say, you know, something happened to him that day when he came back from that weird conference. When she came back, she never was the same. She just was on fire. He was unstoppable. She was non-negotiable. He was literally, I couldn't keep up with him. I want you to see yourself sitting there taking it all in. And all of a sudden, people begin to acknowledge you and thank you. Thank you for changing my life. And you don't even know how you changed their life. Thank you for changing my life. You don't even know what happened with them. Thank you for changing my life. Thank you for changing my son's life. And all of a sudden you realize that they've been watching you. All the weird stuff you did, you helped them realize that they can be different too. Take a deep breath. You stand up and you begin to walk out the room. And you realize that every single person in that room is standing in line to hug you, to touch you, to whisper thank you in your ear. Look at the faces. Brothers, sisters, parents, neighbors, old classmates. Just look at their faces. Thank you. Thank you for believing in you. Thank you for showing us how to believe in ourselves. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to be inconvenienced. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. You see your future? You get a clear glimpse? Here's what I know. All the way there to that moment that you just saw, remember this. I will be beside you. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, cheering you on, celebrating you. And when you lose faith in yourself, borrow mine, because I have enough faith in you for the both of us. And when your legs get tired, borrow my strength. I eat my Wheaties every day. And when your faith wanes, I'll lend you some more. Why? Because somewhere there's someone who's going to be sitting in a chair like you, hoping to cross your path so they can believe again. I'm your sister in prosperity and in possibility, and it's always my honor to serve you. I love you.